We wanted to do we got a lot of heat in the forums about doing a teaser freezer. We haven't done one in a while. It's a very popular segment we do. Teasers are movie commercials. They show in front of the movies. They tell you who's going to be in them.
Very quickly, if you want to see movies and you want to know what we mean, go to LA, go to New York, even for just a day. They have big movie house screens, and you go in and get tickets. You got to
kind of get in with the ticket boss.
Yes, you need to kind of make friends with the tickets and a guy and find out what he likes. And then if you can make that connection, he'll get you the ticket. You go in, you sit down. Don't panic when the first thing comes on the screen. That's not the movie you paid for. That's the teasers.
That is the teasers. And so what we like to do, we have a little appliance in the studio, and it's called a teaser freezer, and it's full of cold teasers. And we like to open it up and reach inside and pull out one of the best teasers and play it for you guys, and we talk about it.
And explain why it's a good teaser and why it's going to be a good movie and worth coming all the way out here to see if you live in one of the very bad states or even countries that litter this world.
Mexico.
So,
oh, my eyes! Oh, it's too snowy.
I've got frostbite. I'm losing my fingers. Okay, we got the teaser.
We got the teaser, and this week's teaser is 3 Days to Kill, starring Kevin Costner. Let's play the teaser now. That's the green part.
5 minutes from now, this team will save thousands of lives. Under no circumstances does this briefcase leave the area.
So, we already told you that Kevin Costner was in it, but you might be hearing that voice and saying, who is that? That sounds like an old guy who just woke up.
Or maybe an old kind of cartoon duck who's chomping on a cigar, chomping on a duck cigar.
Yeah, the main cartoon's mean neighbor.
Yeah. Hey, come here, you mean beaver. It's a duck and a beaver in a cartoon. Come on over here and I'll trick you. And so that's sort of the voice.
Mm-hmm.
But that's Kevin Costner.
Yes. And we know the secret to talking like that.
Yes, and we know that our old friend Kevin has borrowed a trick from another old friend of ours. Joaquin Phoenix lent Kevin, and this is the kind of scoop you only get on this show, he lent Kevin his same hoagie that he was munching on during the entirety of the filming of Her and The Master, and he let Kevin take a big bite of the hoagie before every take, and so it gives you that nice gritty feeling to your speech.
Now, he plays a guy who is on a killing team, but he is killing people, and it's maybe for the government, and he's gonna save a lot of people. It's a good killing team. They kill only the bad guys.
He's a lot like Artemis Black, because when he's doing killing, and it does make him a killer, he's also doing killing so other people don't kill someone else.
Yes.
Good or bad, when you work for the agency,
all teams in position.
it becomes your whole life.
And
okay.
He said good or bad, but he also said it was good because they're supposed to save a lot of lives.
That's right. And this is sort of a new concept in storytelling, to have a killer killing somebody who would kill someone else, so that it is bad to kill, but good to not let the other guy kill. And one thing I want to point out, he says, when you work for the agency. Now, you might think they're talking about me and Hayes. We work for big agencies because we make a fuck ton of money for the fucking big 10%eries in this town. William Morris, CAA, UTA, WME,
Gwersh.
Endeavor, and Gwersh. We make so much money for them, it's like, but they work for the agency. That's not what he means. We don't know what agency this is. Maybe it's Paradigm.
And he put a bomb on his foot, and he put it under the car with his shoe, and oh, he's got in the car, and now he threw a guy out, and now he's driving, and he's wearing a gas mask, and the other guy gets in the car, bomb blows up that you heard about
shoe
earlier.
bomb under
Shoe
the
bomb.
car,
I'm
yeah.
gonna spend the rest of my life killing for you.
You're the best agent for this job, Ethan. We need you.
Ethan from Mission
I spend a
Impossible.
little more time with my daughter and my wife.
Why did you...
Now, I want to say, I said Ethan from Mission Impossible. That's just a note I made to myself to remember. When you are making a movie about a sort of a secret agent who works for a
hired
top
killer.
secret agency, a hired killer who's sort of being dragged in to do another job that's very difficult and maybe is a little reluctant, but they're highly skilled. They're the best man for it. Why not use the same name, first name, as that exact same character in another popular movie? Because now we really know this guy really is this kind of guy.
I have a note, and it's that I think this character should have been named James Bond.
Okay. I love that note. And in fact, Ethan from Mission Impossible was called James Bond in the draft we made, and we did sue and win when they didn't shoot that one. When they change it. And so thanks for the boat and the two houses and the helicopter boat. But we're still mad about that. And you still could fix it if you name this guy James Bond.
So he wants to spend more time with his daughter, and he doesn't want to kill anymore for the agency, but he's the best agent they've got, presumably because he is an old man. And nobody shoots and does flips like a guy who sounds just so tired.
Well, yes, when you need to when it's all about reflexes and outrunning someone and fighting someone, the older the better. That's why all the best athletes are in their late 50s, early 60s, and all of the best secret agents, same thing.
Leave me and Mom.
There's no easy answer.
I was going to ask you to look after Zoe while I go to London for work.
I can handle it.
You have to...
Now, you know why she's going to London. It's not for any personal reason. It's for work. And that's the kind of thing that you need to get out in the teaser. When somebody's going somewhere, you need to say why and for what purpose.
If any of you dumb fucks ever luck-ass your way into making a movie and you need to cut the teaser for it, don't make the mistake we've seen get made where somebody's going to London and you think they might be visiting their friend or going to take a pottery class or something. You say it's for work, and now I'm interested.
And now Kevin Costner is riding a bicycle through Paris with his 17-year-old daughter on his lap. It's like a Parisian thing.
You have to make me a promise. Are you done? Are you really done working for them?
What's happening to me?
He looks sick.
You're sick, Ethan.
He is
And I
sick.
could offer you an experimental drug that might just give you your life
The
back.
experimental drug is a
Buy
needle
back
that
my life.
comes in a red
I ain't
box.
killing for you.
So let's catch everyone up. Ethan was a killer, but he wanted to get out. But then he got sick. He fell on the floor, and he wasn't seeing things right.
Anyone who's been sick falls on the floor, and you know that at home.
And the only way to get out is to get this experimental drug that only the agency has. It comes in a red velvet box.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the pharmacy. You ask the pharmacist, you say, I'm really sick. I need this certain drug. And they slide a very nice box across the table, and you open it up. And it's a special box designed just for the needle that has the special drug.
It's a needle box. You go to Duane Reade or you go to the Walgreens and you ask for, you say, I fell down on the floor and things don't look right. And now, this movie set in the past when this drug was still experimental, period piece, but now they would slide a very expensive box with red velvet and just shaped perfectly for the needle. And you stick it in, you feel better.
That's the job. You have 3 days to kill.
Ah, so that's what that was.
Okay, so now always say the name of your movie in the teaser. I can't tell you how pissed I was when I was watching the teaser for American Hustle. Mm-hmm. And they said, this is the biggest hustle yet. And they said, hey, man, that's the American way. and all these different
And they
things all
expect
around
you to
it.
take all these floating, disparate pieces and put them together when it's really their job to do that.
And when I went to
That's what editing is.
When I went to my Ticketman friend and tried to talk to him about the movie, I said, I want to see the movie. I think it's The American Way, or maybe it's The Greatest Hustle Ever pulled. And he didn't know what I was talking about because they didn't do their job.
You know, a lot of my friends' dads are in sales. And not one of them dresses like you.
Now, this is something we have to explain because it's a visual joke. She says a lot of her friends' dads are in sales, but none of them dresses like he does, which is he wears a suit, like with a black coat,
Yeah, like a coat over his suit.
black pants, and like a white shirt and a tie.
Right.
So it's like, oh, are you really in sales?
It's like, are you in sales or are you actually a hired killer? Because it's like he's actually, and it sounds like we're exaggerating, but if you haven't seen it, but he's wearing a full suit, with tie,
with like a yellow tie, like sort
Yeah.
of a big tie.
on the over a button shirt.
Yeah, a white button shirt.
So it's
And
like,
you look at that, it's like,
what are you selling in that? Selling bullets to somebody's body.
Someone, yeah, right into someone's head.
Yeah, real cheap too.
Tripping down your chest, thinking about your tattoo knuckles on the back.
Pulled the guy out of the car. He punched
I want to
him.
make dinner tonight, and I want to make spaghetti sauce, so I need your help.
Okay. So
Now we get into the meat of what makes this a really great teaser.
he's interrogating. You can see that he's interrogating a guy. It looks like he's about to beat him up in the face. He gets a call from his daughter, who is sitting on an abandoned roller coaster when she calls. She's just finished taking pictures of it or something. Mm-hmm. She's sitting on the abandoned roller coaster. She calls during the interrogation.
She got a
Zoe?
I want to make dinner tonight, and I want to make spaghetti sauce, so I need your help.
Just so happens I'm in a meeting here with the real live Italian. He wants to give you a great recipe. Why don't you say hello to my daughter?
Hello, I am Guido.
Okay. Now it's a teaser. All right. Did any of you see that piece of shit Taken? Remember the big failure
No,
movie
you
that
didn't.
came out a few years ago?
That's the point. You didn't.
So they made this failed movie a couple years back, which had a lot of things right. It was a very much older man, so he obviously was the best secret agent. He didn't want to kill anymore, but they need him to because he's an old guy. So then he is going to do all his killing and fighting, but he never is being funny about his daughter because she's got taken away for the whole movie.
He never is any sticky situations where he has to pretend to be doing a different job while his daughter, he's trying to just be a normal dad. And so this movie, they tried to fix it in the second one, but
They made a second because that movie lost so much money, but was almost a good idea. They had to make a second one. You see this all the time that they make another movie. The first Mighty Ducks, now they got to make Mighty D2, the Mighty Ducks.
Yes.
Terminator 2, they got to make because they screwed it up.
Yeah.
Because in the first Terminator, he's not having a kid and being a kind of a dad to the kid, giving
had to
high
do it
fives
again.
in between blowing somebody away.
Yeah.
Then the second one, they fix it. Now that's a hit.
they had to make U572 because in the first one it was just the guys and none of their kids. So the second one they have the sub, but it's like a father-daughter sub.
Yeah, it's all, yes, all the daughters are on the sub. Now, so for Taken 2, they screw it up. They still don't get it right.
Mm-hmm.
This, they finally fixed it, said, we can't call it Taken 3. We're going to call it 3 Days to Kill.
Yeah.
Well, that disease thing, people love disease stuff. But most importantly, the daughter wants to eat spaghetti, and that's funny.
And it just so happens that he's there with an Italian guy, and a really good idea when you have somebody from another country in your movie is to make them say their name in a funny voice and also name them something that is also a racial slur for the type of thing that they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if an Italian guy was to say like, I'm the driver, he'd go, I'm the driver.
Right.
So this guy's name's Guido. I'm a Guido.
I am
a Guido,
Right.
and I'm Guido.
If you have an Irish guy, you could name him maybe something like Mick, short for Mickey.
I'm a Mick. I'm a Canuck.
Right.
You know, if you got some Canadian loser.
Right.
And we just want to point out, you don't have to go back and make a sequel to this
say
one.
racial slurs all day.
Because they actually are doing it right. Yes, we could say them all day. I have a million of them.
Yeah.
More than that.
That's not what the podcast is.
No. We did
that
Yes, we did that one last week.
He beats up a bunch of kids. He kisses.
But I am sure that if you don't try this drug, you'll be dead in 3 days.
Kisses
Said
his
there'd be
friend.
one guy.
3 days, might be the time.
Not 5.
And there's a part where she said there'd be one guy, not 5 guys. Now, that is almost too many guys.
Yes, it's on the edge of too many guys. He is old enough that I could imagine him killing 5 guys very easily, but you may want to make it 4 guys if you make it a movie.
Because he was only expecting one guy.
And also, no matter how much time it seems has elapsed between like the last time he talked to this woman about the drug and the first time, always make sure to remind us it's 3 days.
Yeah.
You have 3 days, to kill. So I think this is all one day.
Yes. And that's about the time, say it was a day later that he talks to her, he could conceivably have forgotten like what the drug is for, even within the trailer.
Yeah.
So, that was like...
Or whether he's sick or not.
That was
he
like
might not
45 seconds ago that you heard that this drug would save his life, and then you saw all the punching and the cars, and so then you sort of think, wait a second, was there something with like a drug?
Or
do I need to know that?
Him being sick, yeah. Is
that's
that part of the movie? Yeah, it's part of the movie.
You might want to ride home.
Did you hear that?
The spare's loose in the trunk. I'm trying to have a conversation with my daughter. I'm sorry, sweetie. Now, where were we?
He was in the car with his daughter. There was a noise. She heard it. He said the spare was loose in the trunk. The car's not moving, but sometimes the spare will just like hop around.
Yeah, it's if you've got jumping beans or something in your spare tire, which makes it more buoyant.
Yeah.
Sometimes the jumping beans get going and they'll make the spare move. So it's a good cover.
He gets out of the car. He opens the trunk. There's a Guido back there who's all tied up. And he says...
He takes a big bite of hoagie. He goes, "Oh, excuse me. I'm trying to have a conversation with my daughter." And he winds up for daughter because that's very funny. And you need to really punch it.
That's the hook.
And that's the hook. And it's a real fuck you to Liam Neeson because he's like, I actually have my daughter in the movie with me and I'm not just yelling about her to somebody we don't even know.
That's the teaser freezer. We'll close it back up and put the teaser back on ice so it doesn't spoil. And then we have a guest now coming up, and his name is Dave Holmes. And he's here to talk about Hollywood on Hollywood Handbook.